The dreamer. Daytime. Now let's say we have this kid on a plantation. They live in a barn with their mum, their dad and other families. They're up early every day working with their parents. It's long, grueling work, but this kid is full of optimism. They love being around everybody. They love that they are out in the field every day getting fresh air, hearing the birds chirping, hearing the people they are around singing songs, being at one with the surroundings. They're very creative and imaginative. Every night before going back to their shed, they collect rocks and sticks to play with. Other people around them looks at them in confusion as they're seeing this kid on the floor playing and commentating with sticks. But in this kid's mind, they are seeing people in scenarios. They are creating scenarios and playing them out. This stick is called Stacy, and Stacy is the girlfriend of this rock over here called Jason, and so on. Every night and morning, this kid is made to pray with the family and barnmates. They've been told this life they are living is justified, and when they pass on, they go to a better place. Somewhere with clouds and angels, somewhere that's magical and divine, where you're at peace. There's no crying, no suffering, no pain. Where there's a man in the sky looking over us all and keeping us all protected. Until then, we must obey who is in charge of us here, as if they are a god to us too. This Pisces dreamer will accept it and be taught to focus only on the brighter side of life. Why is that person being hit with that stick, Daddy? Oh, they was a bad person. They tried to sneak into the owner's house for more food and got caught. Don't you ever try that yourself, or the owner and God will be mad. So this Pisces dreamer will still witness horrific things and see the brighter side of it, naturally. During their long working days, the Pisces dreamer will dream. They'll have to be reminded to and prodded to keep working because their mind will start to wonder. I wonder what's behind those big trees over there. I wonder what the inside of the owner's house looks like. I hope I get to go in there one day. I wonder what God and heaven looks like. I can't wait to see it. Until then, I'll work my hardest. Over time, the Pisces kid will start noticing little things like the owner's kids has real toys in their hands. Their clothes are all neat and nice, whilst the Pisces shoes and clothes all have holes in them. The owner's kids get to go behind the trees all the way over there. I hope I can one day. I bet it's magical there. I bet there's lots of animals and lots of toys to play with all day. The Pisces dreamer will notice their dad had to wrestle other people's dads too sometimes. Very violent wrestling, but it's okay. The owner and their friends likes it, so it must be okay. They'll notice their mum has to go out to another small barn with the owner now and then. They notice their dad is always grumpy when this happens, but they've been told it's where the mum does extra praying to the Lord to make God extra happy with us. The Pisces will notice other people's not as optimistic as them either. But why? This is great. How can we not be happy? We get to work and sing songs all day together. We get fed and sheltered by the owner. The owner is nice to us all as long as we don't do nothing to make them or God mad. We might one day get to go in the owner's house and play with the toys their kids plays with. We might one day get to see what's behind the trees over there. What's everyone miserable about? One day the Pisces dreamer is working amongst their age mates and one of them says they've seen what's behind those trees and it's the best place in the world. The Pisces is like, you're lying. The age mate says, nuh-uh, I seen it. It's wonderful. And my dad even went there with some guys and never came back. The Pisces is like, really? What's behind it? So the age mate goes off on a long bullshit tangent about there's talking trees, giant beautiful flowers, sparkling rivers, lots of playful animals, all these delicious colourful fruits you can eat, and the best thing is, if you go behind there, the owner will come and find you and bring you back here. The Pisces dreamer's mind will explode. Really? Playful animals? Is there toys? Lots and lots of toys. Wow, that sounds awesome! Now this Pisces imagination will go into overload. They will be imagining this place so strongly that their spirit will travel there whilst wide awake. They will have the picture painted in their mind and that is all they will see. They will start to taste the fruits, hear the river flowing, see the gigantic flowers long before they even think about going there. Why would my friend lie to me? They just told me about what's behind the trees. I've always wondered what's behind there. I've got to see it. And plus the owner will find me if I get lost. Now to explain this, Pisces is always looking on the brighter side of life at this stage. They wouldn't believe others will lie to them because, well, why? What's the point of lying? This Pisces is pure, it's not aware of the dark side of life. The imagination is extremely powerful and it will override everything else. So now this Pisces is filled with so much excitement because their curiosity has been matched with a true story. Plus the day-to-day life is boring compared to the sound of this place, so it's gone beyond the mind now. It's been made aware to the Pisces that you can actually go there and witness your imagination right before your own eyes. When you do this to a dreamer Pisces, they are going to go and see it no matter what. Now, something will be irking the Pisces a little. Not in a it's too good to be true way, but a should I or shouldn't I way. They will know they can't ask or tell their parents because it's forbidden to leave the grounds and upset the owner or God. But that magical place will be all they can think about. They've been told heaven is in the afterlife, but they've also just been told there's a realistic heaven behind the trees that they could go and see at any time. So the dreamer Pisces will keep their intentions hidden, but one way or another, they are going to see what's behind those trees. So skip forward a few weeks. On one hot day, the Pisces is planning to go behind the trees. It's a long run, but they know they can make it. They know the guy that's overseeing them will get angry and chase them, but it's okay, because if they can just get a second to go beyond the trees and witness it, that's enough. They would have had so many conversations with their friends many times about it, and the friend would have been going along with it. So the time comes. The Pisces sees that bright light shining through those trees and decides to make a run for it. They're going so fast, they hear people say no! They hear the overseer shouting, they hear the dog barking, but they don't care. The wind's blowing through their hair, they feel free. The trees are getting closer every step. They slowly stop hearing anyone because they've run so far from the field. The trees are close, they are overwhelmed with joy. I can't wait! The Pisces gets to the trees. Yes! They think. They look and see lots of other trees. They get a little confused, but think, okay, I'll keep running and running until I get past the trees. So the Pisces keeps running and running, and it's like the trees are never ending. It's kinda dark and a bit scary now. They look back and just see more trees. They're lost. They're stuck in the middle of a forest. Where's the river? Where's the gigantic flowers? Where's the animals? Where's all the toys? I'm lonely. I'm scared. I want to go back. So the Pisces starts walking around slowly, crying and scared. My friend told me it was wonderful here. Maybe I went to the wrong place. The dreamer Pisces then sits on a log and starts crying and crying. Did my friend lie to me? Then it's like their ears open. When did things go quiet? They start to hear loud shouting in the distance. Then through the trees, they hear a rustle, then a woof, then a sharp pinch on their arm. It's a dog. Get off me, get off me. The Pisces is fighting off this dog, then the owner and Cole come through the trees and picks the Pisces up. The Pisces is happy like, I'm glad you came, I was so scared, it's scary out here. The owner says nothing. The Pisces looks in their face and sees a demon. The Pisces is confused. They've never seen them look like that before. The Pisces gets brought all the way back to the field. The owner gathers everyone together and makes an example of that Pisces. The Pisces parents tries to intervene and they both receive the same treatment. They were so scared in that forest, but with the pain they are now feeling from the owners, they would rather be back in that forest. The Pisces looks at their friend mid-punishment and sees the friend smiling. They did lie to me. The Pisces thinks to themselves, as they are feeling the pain of their punishment and seeing the treatment their parents are getting. Something's changed in that Pisces, and they are now filled with rage. Those rose-tinted glasses are off. They see a demon in the friend and a demon in the owner and the co-workers. Now we all know kids can be gullible. I mean people in general can be gullible, but in the zodiac, Pisces is the most gullible only for the fact that they don't believe anyone would do them wrong. It's a pure person at that stage because only that light fish is active. So positivity will overrule everything else, including logic. But what has happened now is the dark fish has come into play and the spirit has activated. The shark. Nighttime. The shark stage is the stage of a Pisces that is a tricky, dangerous stage for the Pisces itself and others because it goes with the flow of danger. This is where I say a Pisces has woken up. It's that moment of realization and becoming aware of itself and surroundings. You can replace shark with the siren, mermaid, stingray, piranha, barracuda. You get the gist. It's gone from passive goldfish to having no shit. Now this Pisces will be in touch with their intuition because now they aren't overriding them with positive thoughts or allowing others to mislead them. Why is mum going to the shed with the owner? It's no longer they are going for extra prayer. It's now, I have a feeling the owner is doing something to my mum, and that is why my dad is angry every time it happens. It automatically makes sense of things. The mum could come back smiling in good spirits, but now the Pisces is in touch with what's going on behind that smile, and also being receptive to their dad's energy, for example, in this scenario. It puts 2 and 2 together to get 4. The Pisces could now stand and look at the shed door whilst the mum and owner is in there, and they won't even have to be able to see through the door because in their head, a picture will be painted of what is happening behind that door, and it will be extremely close to the truth, if not 100% accurate. Now, with these senses turned on and being aware of the deceit in others, the shark's nose will be poking out of that Pisces. It will smell blood. They'll confront that friend about the wonderful place behind the forest, and the friend will be like, "Hey, I'm sorry. I was lying, but I saw that you got so passionate about it, I didn't want to ruin your dreams. I didn't think you would actually go and see for yourself. You got to be silly to do that." If there's one way to receive a shark attack, is mess with a Pisces dreams or deceive them when they trusted you. It doesn't matter how delusional, how unrealistic it appears to you, mess with a Pisces dreams and you will be a target. Now, depending on the type of shark you come across, this friend will be attacked instantly or later on. But if one thing's for certain, it's coming, and not just in one way. The problem now is, you won't know there's a shark in that Pisces. You'll think they are still that naive person who believed every word, not knowing what that Pisces has in store for you. And that the Pisces now has awareness of its own danger, it'll put on a pretense of even being more naive than it was before to stay hidden. So now the Pisces realizes, okay, there is no magical place behind the trees. So what is this place then? I was running for so long and it was just tree after tree. The owner found me and disciplined me. And my parents. Are we trapped here forever then? What is this book that says I must accept this life? If my so-called friend can lie to me about this magical place behind the trees, then how do I know this book isn't lying to me about the magical place after I die? All these questions will flow from the Pisces and the universe will be sending answers back because they are now connected to something real. And this is where you'll get the rebel Pisces. When the dreams doesn't match the real world, where the shark realizes it's in a box, where the evil surrounding the Pisces needs to be terminated. I had faith to heal with. Now I have fates to deal with. That will be this Pisces motto. So the Pisces will be aware of everyone's feelings on this field. They used to be one of the only happy, optimistic people, and now they know why everyone else isn't. They're picking up grief, sorrow, despair, depression from everyone. Nobody's happy here, other than the owner and their family and the delusional workers, who was like the Pisces before. The Pisces is seeing people getting old after being here their whole life and never seeing anywhere else. The Pisces is seeing babies being born and are destined for the same journey. This can't be life. This can't be the only place in this whole world. I have dreams of places I've never seen before. Places where people dance around fires having fun. Places where there's like cars driving around and people selling things to one another. I have dreams of being on a massive ship at sea. So why are we here all day, every day, working for this man with his massive house? Who are these other men dropping off people like me here too? They're coming from somewhere. Where are they coming from? Why does he have a nice car, massive house, nice clothes, and gets to live in this place with his children and his wife, and we don't? What do we have? We have nothing. But this book telling me this is alright. What makes these people more worthy than me? I don't even care what's in his house anymore. All the people like me who get to live in the owner's house starts looking down on me too. I'm leaving this place, and I will make it past the forest. And if anyone stops me or comes looking for me, then they will regret ever coming across me. Even though this Pisces has put down the book they've been told to worship, they now feel connected to something greater than themselves. They won't know what, but something. Not a father, not an owner, but an energy. From here on out, The only thing the Pisces will have on their mind is to escape. To where? They won't know. Just somewhere better than here, no matter what it takes. Because this isn't how my life should be. When I'm envisioning a life that is free, I feel something that's deep inside me, and for it to be imprisoned isn't even likely. Because my mind is now out of the box, holding a key that got me out of the locks. A nightmare that's been sold as a dream showed me that there's a soldier in me. This is where the Pisces leadership qualities will present themselves for the first time, but that is in an aggressive and still somewhat dreamy way others won't really follow. The Pisces shark will alert some trustworthy people of what they're planning to do. They'll let others know they've all been lied to and tell them of being free. Others will think, be free and go where? This is all we know. We don't know what's out there. Better the devil you know. This doesn't work for a dark Pisces, because they now know a devil is inside of them. Not knowing what is out there is what will spark the Pisces optimism again, but this time it will be in a realistic way. The Pisces will know maybe there's absolutely nothing out there, but they won't care. As long as they're free to see it, then they're going to see it. Nobody owns me. I'm connected with something higher and out of this place, and that is where I am heading, by any means necessary. So the shark is where the dark fish will take over the light fish in order to see true light. It's like, I'm accepting the darkness now because I'm aware of it, but I hope in the end I make it out of the tunnel. It's where peace turns to war. It's where I don't want to hurt anybody turns to I will hurt anybody that deserves it. It's I used to be a slave, but now I am not. It will start off mentally, then it will manifest physically. The shackles will break loose. Now, this isn't the stage of the martyr. This is a selfish stage. It's like, I was given so much, now I am going to start taking back. So it's like a selfish quest that can potentially save others, but it's more about the Pisces protecting itself first and foremost. It's where it realizes the battlefield it's in and decides to pick up a weapon and take part. It's where the dark fish says to the light fish, look at me, look at me. I'm the captain now. The plan's to escape. Whoever is with me, but it doesn't matter either way because sharks travel alone. Sharks always advance. The Pisces will know to not even suggest it to their parents, plus they won't want them getting harmed again because of them, so it's best they leave them out of it. And being in a situation where they have to leave their parent behind will hurt the Pisces, but like I said, this stage is about the Pisces, not anyone else. So the same thing as I said before, the Pisces will choose when to escape, but this time, there's no magical place expectation involved. It's I'm ready for war and whatever hell comes my way. Empathy will be used at this point to see who is who. Who will potentially snitch on me if I tell them my plans? Who will escape with me? Who will help me out in some way? It will be used to connect with people but in a more self-serving way because they've already been betrayed before. That can't happen again. So the time comes. Pisces and a small number make a run for it, but this time, it's at night. They sneak out. There's no one telling them no this time. There's no overseer and dogs sniffing around. It's an easy break, and now they are going through the forest at night. That the Pisces mind is out of the box. That's what made them realize how easy it was to physically escape, because them and their people is mentally imprisoned. Don't do this because of that and so forth. So that the Pisces is in a mindset of war, psychological warfare is nothing to them. There's no boundaries. The shark's going through any barricade. The Pisces and co will be fearless and determined to just get away. Anywhere is better than here. And that the Pisces knows what it's like to be sold a dream, now they are able to sell a dream to others. But it's not fake. It's telling them exactly what it is and what to expect. We can have freedom, but it will come at a cost. It may not be magical over there, but we'll be free. As time goes on the run, they'll make it out of the forest and come across fields just like theirs. Different place, same story. They'll come across other runaways doing the same thing and joining alliances. They'll be ruthless towards anyone they come across who is a potential enemy of their freedom. They'll go up against many people coming to capture them and get through them with ease. They'll acquire weapons over time, knowledge of the areas. They'll literally go through the dark side of life, in touch with their dark side, alongside others on the same frequency and goal to be free. There's no dreams. a straight harsh reality, partaking in everything that comes with it. But what happens when you are a prisoner and then you get some freedom? You end up realizing you are not free. You've just entered a bigger prison. The more you know is the more you realize you know nothing. But at least in the bigger prison, there's more places to hide and have some sort of freedom than to have none. The Healer Protector, Dawn. So we've gone from the dreamer who sees the brightness in life to the shark who sees the darkness in life. Once we get to the final stage is where the light and dark side becomes balanced. This is where it becomes about everybody else because the Pisces has selfishly gone through their light and dark side individually. This stage is where the light fish comes back in and stands alongside the dark fish. The Pisces has not just gone beyond the forest, they've gone beyond the whole world. They went from a hazy, narrow field of view in reality, but with a massive imagination, to now seeing everything clearly in panorama. They are enlightened. The dreamer stage is about the Pisces' dreams. The shark stage is about the Pisces' freedom. The protector stage is the dream of everyone being free like the Pisces and freeing them. This stage is the most dangerous stage because this is where bad will be done for the greater good. All opposition, all restrictions will be dissolved. Just like the Pisces body, the spirit is free. The ego is dead. At this stage, the Pisces will be mentally free. Nobody's technically physically free in this world, but to be mentally free is possible. But when a Pisces feels they can be as free on earth as they are in their minds, anything is possible. This Pisces can now dream properly because they know they got what it takes to make the dream come true because they're in touch with reality. The gap has been bridged from the imagination to reality. So as I said, during the shark stage, the Pisces would have been seeing the truths of reality, like seeing there's more other fields just like theirs, and even though people from other fields was joining, the problem still wasn't solved. People are still enslaved. No one would need to escape anywhere if imprisonment wasn't happening. Now the Healer Protector stage is where the Pisces will mainly go alone, funny enough. They've become a lone spiritual soldier, but you will find a lot of lone soldiers at the shark stage too. The Pisces in a gang is very dangerous, but is nothing compared to a hidden Pisces working alone. Absolutely nothing compared. Yeah, they are part of a little rebellious group, but this Pisces is now selfless. This Pisces wants to free others. Before, they was coming across others escaping. They wasn't actually freeing people. Now this Pisces wants to actually free people by any means. Pisces understand not everyone is selfless and understands they are pretty much alone with this desire, so this is why they will go it alone. Don't confuse selfless for meaning the Pisces doesn't care about itself. It just means the Pisces is universally at one now. Others will be like, you're free, we're free. If those others want to stay enslaved, then leave them. But Pisces will be thinking about the ones with the desire to break free, but not have the courage to do so. Not everyone's got the heart to carry out the desires, so our Pisces will especially look out for people like this. Because the people that needs help the most are the ones that are quiet about it. Pisces has been there. They know this. Others will see it as self-undoing, but understand, at this stage, the Pisces has nothing to lose. At this point, the Pisces is fully at one with their senses, and that means they are spiritually enlightened. They are adaptable to all scenarios and people. They are intuitive. They are compassionate. They are truly empathetic. But at the same time, they are backed by a cold-blooded shark. Being spiritual doesn't just mean being some sort of angel. It can also mean being a demon too, or both at the same time. Pisces are both at this end stage. So the Pisces will break free from the group with the mindset of freeing others at any cost. Because now, this Pisces is aware they are part of something out of this world. They've got nothing to lose. I'm aware of evil, and I've also got my mirror on me. Am I evil too? Doesn't matter. I'm still going to help others. So let's say a few years later, or earlier than that, the Pisces goes back to their home field to start with healer work from there. They arrive to the field at night and think, this was my home. They're now looking at the field from the forest, than from the field to the forest like at the dreamer stage. They see everything clearly now. They know what this all is, and they also know a demon runs this place because they saw it in their face when they so-called rescued them from the forest that first time they escaped. Not only that, they've got the marks on their body to prove this is the work of an evil person. The scars from the beatings. So the Pisces sneaks back in at night, sees their dad, they embrace. The dad claps the Pisces over their head like any loving parent would. Where the hell have you been? We've been worried sick. But then the dad will stand and look at their child. Look at how they've grown up. They've still got that dreamy look, but there's a strong energy behind it now. The Pisces will be like, I'm getting you lot out of here. Where's mum? The dad sighs, sits down and says she's praying. So the Pisces rushes out the door, over to that shed, kicks down the door and finally sees the truth with their own eyes. Owner on top of mother. The mum's crying, the Pisces goes for the owner and terminates that. No second thoughts, no remorse. Beep, beep, target acquired, target dissolved. Tells the mum they're leaving, tells everyone they're going, knocks on all the barn doors, rounds everyone up and shows them the way to go. But many people will stay put with their book in their hand, holding on to the belief that this treatment is rightful towards them. God doesn't want them to escape. We must stay here to make it to heaven. But many others will wake up and want to leave, put the book down and start walking. There'll be a long line of people heading off in the direction of where the Pisces knows the other group of runaways will be located and sort of set up a camp. I mean, this is the start of freeing people, right? Power in numbers. There's some people running, there's some people scared and hesitant walking slowly, and there's some people that can't even walk, they're being carried, but the Pisces has set them all free. Keep going straight in this direction, you'll find them. It's like a long stream of emotions flowing through the Pisces, watching these people freed, being connected with each one of them, all their pain and suffering and false hope. That is bringing fulfillment to that Pisces. But the Pisces knows the job isn't done. The overseers could come out any minute. Once I set all these people free, I'll go deal with them too. Then suddenly, one of the overseers has come out and seen this happening and is now aiming at the Pisces. Whether the Pisces knew the overseer came out and was coming behind them or not is another story. But the Pisces doesn't say nothing. They just put their hands up and turn around and start slowly walking towards the overseer. The overseer turns slightly and sees the shed door open with the owner slumped on the floor. People are still running out trying to leave. The Pisces is trying to buy them some time, but the overseer then lets go. Then that's that for that Pisces body, but the spirit is now fully free. Now, not all of those slaves would have got free. The fast ones would have, but the old ones, the injured ones, would have had trouble. The Pisces sacrificed themselves to at least free some of them. At least some got away and the owner got theirs. They brought them their karma. The Pisces protector will rest peacefully knowing that. The Pisces would have known they realistically couldn't have freed everyone, but they would at least try. They will risk their life for the greater good. Pisces understands at this stage, nobody is truly free in this life. Everybody is a slave to something. The healer protector stage is Pisces a slave to freedom, trying to heal and protect the world of evil. It's gone beyond the dreams. It's gone beyond the self. It becomes one with the spirit to protect the good for the greater good. You want to talk about Pisces going with the flow? This is when Pisces really goes with the flow. Whatever it is, the spirit is floating with zero fear. You don't know fearless or courage until you meet this level of Pisces. Nothing on earth can phase it. Steve Irwin once said, "I'll meet my match when I'm dead." Not all Pisces reaches this level of selflessness, because to even attempt something like this, the majority of people will at least expect something out of it, even just a simple thank you. But a true Pisces doesn't need anything in return physically, because they reap all the benefits spiritually. But at the end of the day, Pisces is an old soul, man. It's tired. It's beyond all this reality we know as life. From the shark stage onwards, you are dealing with a spirit, not a person, if the Pisces moves in a linear way. If not, that's where other typical things resistant to the spirit can come in, like victim mentality. And to be fair, when reality hits the dreamer Pisces, It will not just tap the Pisces on the shoulder. Nah, it will fully knock the Pisces out. So if the Pisces doesn't stand back up with the shark, things like depression and substance abuse will comfort them on the ground. But the healer becomes one with all, and that includes being at one with evil to tackle evil with the end goal of escaping this hell we call Earth. It's a controlled shark, not impulsively ruthless like the shark stage. It's where wisdom is added to the knowledge of being a shark. This is where we help others escape as we've escaped. The healing part is obviously things like using empathy to connect and download others' pain, but check out my empathy video for a more detailed talk on that. This story is just one example of the 3 stages of a Pisces. I speak with a lot of analogies and metaphors, but you can use these 3 examples of the stages and put it in any scenario your imagination can create with Pisces. But the synopsis will always be going through the day, then the night, then ending at dawn. You don't get to dawn without going through the night time. But when a Pisces gets to dawn, that's when it's time to leave here, and they've accepted that. Because there is no death. The spirit just fully goes back to the creator. So all we're doing is fully going home, instead of being 1 foot in and 1 foot out of our front door. When that Pisces shark wakes up, they can never go back to just being a dreamer. But still, you have dreamers acting like sharks and sharks acting like dreamers, but you cannot fake the protector stage because you cannot fake practically sacrificing yourself. The true Pisces martyr is not a joke, and you will know when you come across one. Your spirit will pick up the healer Pisces energy no matter what zodiac sign you are or how old your spirit is. The aura will be different, not heavenly and not evil. It will be a blend because the dream is still in there, but so is the shark now. It's a balance of light and dark, what makes the protector Pisces energy feel powerful yet light. The Pisces has gone full circle. For a Pisces to really see the rainbow, they've got to see the rain first. But not all Pisces are violent, and some won't ever have to use violence either. Some can go from the dreamer state straight to the healer protector state, but they will be fully aware of the shark inside them by then. Whether it's used or not, they will still go through that transition of awakening the spirit and have that karmic mirror in possession. But they will be offensive from they enter that shark stage, offensive in so many different ways. That's why I've said every Pisces you meet, good or bad, has that shark in them. Whether it's asleep or awake, it's still there. Einstein once said, "Learn from yesterday, live for today, hope for tomorrow. The important thing is to not stop questioning." Harriet Tubman, one of the most notable figures during slavery. Tubman was born in March. She died in March too, strangely enough. Her exact birthday was not known, so that sparks a debate. Was she a Pisces or an Aries? I truly believe she was a Pisces. Speaking from a non-biased outlook, you'll find similarities in Pisces and Aries when Pisces is at that shark stage. But the healer protector stage, the act of being selfless, even excluding the fact of Aries being the sign of the self, selfishness, no other sign can even reach that level of transcendence and selflessness. Only Pisces. Aries are breaking out to be free for themselves, just like the Pisces shark, but they ain't going back and freeing other people. That's not their purpose. It's one thing to free yourself, but a complete other to free others too, whilst putting yourself at risk. Harriet Tubman once said, "I had crossed the line. I was free, but there was no one to welcome me to the land of freedom. I was a stranger in a strange land." Oh, and that friend at the dreamer stage that sold Pisces a dream, well, they initially escaped with the Pisces shark too. Wasn't of their own will, as they were somewhat carried to the forest. Yeah, they were left in a way where animals got to play with the friend instead, so to speak. Yeah, don't play with a Pisces dreams, motherfucker, because a nightmare for you is what follows. Now shut your ass up, put your seatbelts back on, and make sure that aisle is clear. We'll be arriving at our destination shortly.